Hello everyone, welcome to my program. My name is Dr. Lee. I come from Bukit Matajam, and right now, at this point now, I'm staying in Kluang in Johor, the southern part of Peninsular Malaysia, whereas Bukit Matajam is in the northern part of Peninsular Malaysia. Anyway, welcome back, and I'm back. So I actually, starting the 23rd of April, I had taken 1 week leave to go outside Kluang. And it was just 7 days. But upon returning, I found that I actually, I anticipated, not to say I found that, I knew that, I will be having my work will be piled up, which is, so when I came back, it took me just 7 days, it took me nearly almost touching 3 weeks, to replace classes, because I'm involved in teaching and I teach exam classes, and I don't follow school holidays, I don't follow public holidays because we have a lot, and my students are exam students, so I'm worried, that I cannot finish the syllabus on time to prepare them for the exam. So normally, during school holidays as well as public holidays, I continue as usual. But of course, within a year, I do take leave. Like for this year, I took leave in January. I believe it was the end of January. I think it was February, Chinese New Year. I took 9 days off, and wow, by the time I replaced class, it was already April. And then end of April, I took again 1 week. And then, of course, I'm back now. It's already, actually it's already the 14th of May. And I still have a few more classes which I have not replaced, because I use the replacing system, where I don't teach those days, those classes which I don't teach, I actually replace classes, because I'm always worried, that I don't have enough time to teach. So I make sure that the students have enough hours with me, so that they don't miss out on anything. That is why, I'm so worried, when I take leave, my mind is on my classes, and then my mind is on when I return, I really don't know how to explain, but I know that when I return, there's a big stone waiting for me, I have to carry the stone. But of course, now that you see me in front of you, it means to say, a lot of the job has been done, and I'm more, I have a little bit more time now. I have replaced many classes. Of course, there are still, there are still classes I have to replace, and probably it will stretch till early June or end of May, because I can't replace every day. My classes are full. I work 7 days a week, so only those days where maybe a few days, in the week where I have maybe, extra, 1 or 2 hours where I can breathe, I use that to replace classes. So I haven't been breathing actually, but now I am. Alright, so welcome everyone. I'm happy to be back. And as you know, I'm uploading my second book, which is Dwi Bahasa, or bilingual. My bilingual book, which is this one. Okay, I'm now at lesson 35. So this book has 40 lessons. So another 5 lessons and we are done this book. And of course, at the same time, I'm already writing my third book, level 3. I call it book 3. Actually it's level 3. So this is the first one. And after I publish this book, I had many people who bought this book from me, and I had requests from many of my subscribers, you know, those people who bought books from me, you know, and they requested, you know, that I publish a book, my next book, in bilingual, you know, in Bahasa Melayu and in English. And of course I agreed, because I know that it is always good to be able to understand what we are learning, regardless of the language. So sometimes we always think that the best way would be use English to teach English, use Bahasa Melayu to teach Bahasa Melayu, use Mandarin to teach Mandarin. Of course that is the best way, no doubt about it. But bearing in mind that if you are in a place where there is no environment for speaking English or listening to English, I don't see how you are going to, you know, to learn a language when there is, you know, where there is no environment using the language you are learning. Let us say you want to learn English, but all the people around you are not speaking English. Alright, now let me ask you a question. How in the world are you going to learn if you say strictly use English to teach English? So it's rather difficult. Of course it can be done, and of course it's the best way, but it's never wrong to use your first language to understand a second language. It's never wrong, in my opinion. Okay, there is no concrete proof, but I think there's you know, it's not wrong to do that. So I agree. Level 2, I use level 2 or book 2. I use 2 languages, Bahasa Melayu, Bahasa Inggris. But I have already done half of my book 3. To tell you the truth, I don't know when it will be ready. Alright, right now I'm really fighting for time. So anyway, I'm halfway through my second book. It's around 42 chapters. This is 40. The first one is 38. So I'm actually adding 2 chapters only, because basically we need 38 chapters. My level 1 itself, book 1, has got all the important lessons here, grammar. It's almost complete, because I don't see, you know, grammar having 60 chapters. I don't see that. Probably 50, 55 the most. Okay, so these 38 chapters are inside here too. So my book 3 or level 3 will have all these 42 lessons in book 3. So what is the difference? Book 1, book 2, book 3, simple. Book 3 is more difficult than book 2. Book 2 is more difficult than book 1. Book 4 is more difficult than book 3. Book 5 is more difficult than book 4, that's all. The standard goes up, but the chapters are the same. Don't tell me in year 4, primary school, year 4, you learn prepositions, in, on, under, over, for, from, by, and then you go to form 4, you say, oh, I have learned this in year 4, so I'm not going to learn it. I don't need to learn it. Does this happen? Will this happen? I don't think so. Because even though you learn in year 4, primary school year 4, prepositions, in, on, under, over, when you go to form 4, you still have to learn in, on, under, over, for, from. When you go to the university, 4th year or 3rd year, you still have to learn. When you go to work, you still have to know. You still have to use. Simple. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. That in what you learn from my book 1 is going to be in book 2, book 3, book 4, and book 5, because you have to learn. It's as simple as that. Okay? But more and more difficult. More and more difficult. Alright? So let us look at, if you have this book. If you have this book, please turn to page 100. Page 100. So look here. We are at lesson 35. This is the third video. Exercise 5, third video, lesson 35. And the topic is question text, page 100. Okay. So look at number 1. The mechanic repairs the cars in the workshop, doesn't he? The mechanic. You bring it to the back, it becomes he. Now, let me tell you this in English. When we do not mention the sex of a person, that means we don't say whether it's a he or a she. We follow he. We don't follow she. Okay? So you mention a job, mechanic or cobbler. You don't say, we don't mention man or woman. Our answer will be man. We follow the man. Okay? So remember that the last word must be a pronoun. That means I, you, we, they, he, she, it, 7 altogether. 7 altogether. So you can see he, you, he, she, we, they, I, they, it, they, she, it, they. All the 7 pronouns. And the mechanic, first we must think, since there is not mentioned whether it's a male or a female, we take the male. So it's a he. And then look at the verb. The verb here is the action verb. It is not am, is, are, was, were, has, have, had, must, can, could. That one you directly change. Like is becomes isn't. Has becomes hasn't. Were becomes weren't. Can becomes can't. Should becomes shouldn't. But you don't see all these words here. You don't. You directly see an action verb, which is repairs. So when you see the word repairs with an S here, it means to say it's a dust. It means if there's a dust inside, which you don't write or you don't say. So when you bring it over this side after the comma, does change it to the opposite, it becomes doesn't. And then the mechanic changed to a pronoun he. So doesn't he. Okay? You reached school late this morning, didn't you? So you see the look for the verb, the action verb, reached, ed. So when you see ed, it means to say there is a did inside this word, which you don't write or you don't speak. So did after the comma becomes didn't. If you have to write by yourself, you have to put a comma. You have to put a comma. And then after the comma, this did bring over becomes the opposite, didn't. And then this word you bring it to the back, put a question mark. So as I mentioned before, why do we use question text? Because we want people to agree with us. Okay? When I say you reached school late this morning, it means to say I believe you did that. Or I'm sure you did that. Or I'm convinced you did that. Or I think you did that. So what answer do I want? I want you to agree with me. So you say, oh yes, I did. I want a yes. So I ask yes. So in other words, it is positive, negative, positive. The answer will be positive, expected answer. I expect you to say yes. That is why I ask you yes first. Okay? He loves to eat chicken rice, doesn't he? Loves, got S here, same as number 1. So there is a does inside here. When you bring it over here after the comma, does becomes the opposite, doesn't. And then he bring it to the back, put a question mark. What answer do I want? Yes, he does. Eileen attends piano classes, doesn't she? Same. Eileen is the same as the mechanic. Change to the pronoun first. Eileen is a girl or a lady, so we change to she. And then attends, you can see the S here, just like number 1S. So there is a hidden does inside here. After the comma, does change to the opposite, it becomes doesn't. And then Eileen becomes she, question mark. What is the answer that I want? Yes, she does. Because when I ask you, I'm sure, or I believe, or I think, or I know, That is why I start with saying she attends. Okay? And then I ask you, doesn't she? What answer do I want? Yes, she does. We clean our classroom every Thursday, don't we? Same, clean. Clean is the base form. So there is a hidden do. Inside here, there is a do, which we don't write and we don't speak. So after the comma, we bring this do over this side. Do becomes don't, opposite. And then we bring it to the back. We, question mark. Answer, yes, we do. The hawkers sell food and drinks at the roadside, don't they? Hawkers got S. People, animals, places, and things. If we put S, it means many. So when it's many, it means they. Change to the pronoun they. So hawkers, many. Sell is the base form as number 5. So when it is the base form, there is a do inside this word. So when you bring it over this side, do becomes don't. And then the hawkers change to the pronoun they. So bring it over here. What answer do I want? Yes, they do. I came early for the meeting, didn't I? So came. Came is the past tense. When it is the past tense, there is a did inside here. So after the comma, this did bring over this side, it becomes the opposite, didn't. And then the I bring to the back, put a question mark. What is the answer that I want? Yes, I did. Okay? The other side. The teachers ate in the canteen, didn't they? Can you see the word ate? A-T-E, past tense. That means there is a hidden did inside this word, which we don't write and we don't speak. So after the comma, did, bring it. After the comma, it becomes the opposite, didn't. And then the teachers, there is an S behind teachers, it means many. So change it to the pronoun. The teacher's pronoun is they, so bring they to the back. Put a question mark. What is the answer that I want? Yes, they do. They play football in the evening, don't they? Same. Play is the same as number 6, number 5. Clean, self, base form. When it is the base form, there is a do inside. So after the comma, bring the do over and it becomes the opposite, don't. And then they, bring it to the back. So they play football in the evening, don't they? Put a question mark. What is the answer that I want? Yes, they do. The moon comes out at night, doesn't it? Same case, comes. Comes, you can see the S there. It is the same as number 1, repairs. It is the same as number 4, attends. It is the same as number 3, loves. So when you have the S behind a verb, an action verb, what do? You know that there is a does inside, which we don't write and we don't say. So after the comma, this word does, bring it. After the comma, change it to the opposite, doesn't. And then the moon pronoun for the moon is it. So bring the pronoun to the back, it, put a question mark. What answer do I want? Yes, it does. The children go to bed early, don't they? Same case, go. Go is the base form. Number 11 is the same as number 9. There is a hidden do. That means there is a do inside this word go, which we don't speak of it and we don't mention it. We don't write it out. So we know that there's a do inside. So after the comma, change this word do to don't, the opposite. And then the children is the same as the teachers. Plural, it means many. So it means they, pronoun. Bring the they to the back. Don't they? Put a question mark. What is the answer that I want? Yes, they do. Positive, negative, positive. Negative, positive, negative. That means the answer that I want, the answer that I expect from you. When I start with a positive, I expect yes. That means the answer that I want is yes. Okay? She drew that beautiful picture, didn't she? Drew. Drew is the past tense of draw. So because it is the past tense, there is a did inside this word drew, which we don't say and we don't write out. So it's very simple. After the comma, bring the did to the other side. The opposite of did is didn't. And then she bring it to the back. Didn't she? Question mark. So when I ask you like this, what answer do I want? I want you to agree with me. Because when I ask this question, when I say she drew that beautiful picture, maybe I know, or maybe I believe, or maybe I think, or maybe I'm sure. That is why I say she drew that beautiful picture. And then I say, didn't she? What answer do I want? I want you to agree with me. So I want you to say, oh yes, she did. It likes to eat carrots, doesn't it? So it bring to the back is it. Likes. Likes, you see the S there. When a verb has an S, it means there is a does inside this word, which we don't write out and we don't say out. So when you bring it over the other side, after the comma, does change to doesn't, the opposite. And then it bring to the back, put a question mark. What answer do I want? Yes, it does. The answer that I want is a positive. That is why I start asking with a positive. So when I ask positive, I want positive answer. When I start with a negative, I want a negative answer. So I expect you to agree with me. Okay? They take a bus to work, don't they? Same case. Take. Take is the base form. Same as number 11, go. Same as number 9, play. So there is a hidden do inside this word, which we don't write out or we don't say out. So after the comma, after this comma, okay, after this comma, this word do, bring it to the back, the opposite. You provide the opposite. So the opposite is don't. And then they bring it to the back. Question mark. What answer do I want when I ask you they take a bus to work? Don't they? The answer that I want is yes. Yes, they do. Why? Because I believe they do that. I think they do that. Or I know they do that. That is why I start with a positive. Okay? And then when I ask you, don't they? The answer that I want is yes, they do. Alright, so with this, I have already finished exercise 5. Question text. Actually, before this, I put 2 exercises and I explained 2 exercises in one go. But you can see that this time I have made the writing bigger. Only 14. Why? Because I got a comment that is not clear. The writing is too small. So actually when I was, before this, when I put 2 exercises and do it in one go, I only thought of those people who have bought this book. I did not think that there are many of you who did not buy my book. So I didn't think of that. I only thought that, oh, you have a book. So I can put 2 exercises in one and I can make the writing smaller, and then I can explain 2 lessons in one video. So until I receive a comment that the writing is very small and it's not clear, it's very hard to read. Then only I realized that, wow, actually I have neglected this part. Actually, there are many people who did not buy my book. So they only watch my videos, they look at the whiteboard, and then they listen when I explain. So for this, I'm really sorry. I wish to apologize that I didn't think of this. So I would like to thank whoever wrote this comment, so that I know where I went wrong. So I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so as I mentioned before, it's not necessary that you buy my book. I have never thought that you must buy my book. If you watch and understand, it's good enough. Okay, so in future, I will do this, I will make the writing big, and then I won't do so many exercises in one video. So we will be slower than usual as I anticipated, but it is good for everyone, because as I mentioned just now, not everyone bought my book, you see. So anyway, I have already finished this lesson. My next video would be exercise 6. Okay, same question text. And as usual, if you want to buy my book, actually for now, level 2 has 1 book left, finished already. So if you want to buy that last book, you can WhatsApp me, or later if you want to buy, it's okay, you have to wait for a while, and then later when I print again, you can purchase, you can buy. So this is level 1, I still have I still have quite a lot. So level 1 is okay, but level 2 is already, you know, I only have 1 book left. And if you want to learn speaking, you go to my TikTok and Instagram. After my video now, I will be recording for TikTok and Instagram. So, you know, I'm starting my speaking classes. I'm continuing just like I continue my lesson. And if you have friends or groups of people in your place who want to learn English, whatever they want to learn, I can go there if there are enough people. So you just contact me via my handphone, and we can discuss the time and the dates and all that, and I will go over to your place. Because before this, I stayed in Sabah. I was staying in Sabah, in Kota Kinabalu, and later on in Sandakan. So if you are from Sabah, Sandakan, or Kota Kinabalu, or even Sarawak, if you have enough people and enough friends who want physical contact with me, physical class with me, I would say, you can WhatsApp to me and we can discuss. Okay, so that's all for now. Remember to give me a like, share and subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.